All right, welcome back to another Japan Book Hunter, and today I'm here with my fine friend Bryan Moss. We're here on Manga Quest 2024, another reunion.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man.
Dude, bro, it's glad to be
dude,
here.
it's so good to see
Missed
you again,
you.
man.
Missed
Man,
you.
dude. And before we go on at all, dude, thank you, Ed Piscor.
Yes.
If it wasn't for you, brother, we wouldn't know each other. Scheme, the whole crew, Alika, the whole Manga Quest crew would not be here if it wasn't for you, my brother. And I know you're looking down on us right now, watching us hunt that paper gold. We've been over here on Manga Quest for a bit. We both grabbed like 5 books that we've gotten recently.
Yep.
Gonna go through them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, dude.
All
Check
right.
out some of this paper gold, baby.
Dude, you know they're ready for us to show this shit.
Oh, I know. And you and I have battling artist editions that we're gonna get into first. Ashino Jo Volume 2, Hai ni Naru Made, which means like becoming Ash. These artist editions are amazing. Uncle Jeff Darrow has been having me hunt them for him.
Yes.
Because he's an addict. He's addicted to the artist editions, and in the process, I've been getting a bunch myself. So,
The beauty about these, Sean, is like when you introduced them to me, because it was like we met up, what was it? When I got here, and then we met up a day later. I think the next day we met.
day 2.
Yeah.
Day 2.
Yeah. And so then I saw these. I was like, yo, Sean, what are these? And so I'm also addicted to these. How many of these are there all together?
I believe
Sean?
there's 7 in the series. There's Mizuki Shigeru, there's 2 Ashino Joes, Ishinomori Showgirl, and then the Doro Doro 2 Tezukas.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole run of them. And man, they are spendy, but they are worth it. Because I mean, look at these.
That's an education, man. First off, look at the blacks. And, you know, these photographs of these originals are impeccable.
And, you know, you get to see all like the artist notes. You get to see them in their original size that they were drawn in. So this is the original size. And of course, for the tonko bones, they're shrunk down.
Right.
So you lose a lot of detail. But
Exactly.
being able to see them in this amazing large format.
And the great thing about these, Sean, is that, like, you guys want to go to school for being a comic book artist, a cartoonist, you ain't got to no more. You could just buy one of these.
Yeah, man.
Or buy all 7.
Yeah, I mean, and like just checking out, I mean, not only like the notes, but like the way that they're paneled, the way that they're framed. Dude.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. With this volume specifically in these comics, it's like these are hard to find in America. So just having the ability to see one of these, Sean, is a treat in itself. So thank you for showing this one.
Dude, like I'm a huge fan of anything that's an artist edition.
Yeah.
You know, like I love seeing the process, if it's concept art, if it's character design, if it's an artist edition, anything where I can see the process behind the process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Totally.
saying?
Yeah. Because a lot of times when that final publishing or printing, super clean. And so seeing that, like, this demystifies a lot that the artist, you know, it's like a lot of this is Frankenstein, white out, you know, cut and paste. So you're getting all the details, all the information.
All the information right here. And dang, man, it's like you know, like I wish I had the original Tonkobon to compare them to, because you see these like little things, like a little X here or a little like note here, and I'm like, well, did they keep it?
Right, yeah.
Did it
And I
stay?
always enjoy seeing where they end up cropping it. So you get to see the overdrawing a lot of times. You know, like I wonder where it's cut out versus what's kept.
Yeah,
you know?
what's kept, right? Especially when you get into some of the panels where things are blasting out the side. You know?
Right, totally. And so this is just a treat.
Like this.
Yeah,
You
like,
know,
come
when
on.
you have it like coming.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude. So, Sean, when were these published?
these were published about 10 years ago, and I'd have to double check. There's,
Yeah, it's all
there's like
good.
a little
I don't think
little
anyone's going to
supplemental.
sit there and be like, oh, you know, Sean's wrong about that date, you know.
Originally, this came out in 1973.
Right.
So, you know, they gone through his estate,
Yeah.
dug up all the Genga.
And it's pretty impressive to even know that these still exist, like these pages, because any original art, it's hard to find, you know. So for them to able to actually document it and have it in these pristine editions is incredible.
Well, it's like when you and I and Ed and Aki and Alika, all of us went to the Fist of the North Star exhibition.
Right.
1,200 pieces.
Dude. Yeah.
1,200 original pieces.
That's like,
man.
he's like, from the beginning, they were like, we're not getting rid of any of this. We're keeping everything.
I know. And you know, I mean, of course, Japanese manga fans, they want those originals too.
Dude,
Bronson, I mean, they could have been like selling the shit out of
yeah,
this,
they would be Uncle Scrooge rolling in their gold coins.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't. They saved them.
They saved, which is smart because it's like you get to preserve that history and that culture, and then you get something like this. It's just like
I know,
come on,
man. I know, and we're gonna move ahead here and take a look at the Tezuka Osamu.
Actually, let's back up real quick, Sean. There's something in this I actually want to point out. These right here, these marker, flashbacks.
Yeah,
those are beautiful. Like that's something like obviously when it goes into print, we know how it translates, but to see it in the raw form is really liberating.
Dude, it's just like
he's just going at it.
Just going at it. Just in there, right?
Mm-hmm. So what is this story, Sean, specifically? Do you know the
So Ashino Joe, basically every manga is a boxing bout.
Right.
It's just a bunch of boxing bouts. The first one of this is the death of Ricky. So he fights Ricky, he loses to Ricky, but Ricky obtains so much brain damage that he dies walking out of the stadium.
Wow.
Heartbreaking. Joe goes to the park, he's crying in the park, and then everyone from the stadium comes and surrounds him, pats him on the back and says it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking story.
Beautiful.
And then this is the follow-up to it, which is about with the other guy's name, but another comeback victory for Ashita no Joe.
And the beauty about this, because only thing I know about this manga specifically is that on YouTube, there's the first episode that I've watched for over a decade. And it's like the introduction is, but it's so beautiful and it's so good. And I'm like, what is this manga? I need it in my life. Because I don't think it was ever translated into English.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Ashita no Joe was ever translated into, and like it's a staple. You go to a ramen shop in Japan, you reach under the counter, there's an Ashita no Joe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm familiar with the pervasiveness of it. So to see this is just a treat. Now, do you come across these often, Sean?
I don't find these artist editions very often. Of course, I find like art books and manga and stuff, but these artist editions are hard to come by, man. And you got lucky. You got your Dororo over at Mandarake when we were on a little quest.
Yep.
This one I happened to get from a dealer at like a book fair.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for them. Mm-hmm. That looks like Budokan. Budokan is where they hold the sumo.
Oh, yeah.
Fights,
I was just watching those because there's a tournament going on right now.
Yeah. I think it's the Eastern Japan tournament right now.
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Yeah, this looks like Budokan because they have like the hanging thing and everything. And yeah, pretty accurate. And that's the outside of Budokan Stadium. So.
You're like, I know that.
Yeah. I've been there. I watched some one championship fights over there a couple years ago.
Nice. So yeah, this pristine format. These, I'm now addicted to these. And I'm like, man, am I going to make it home? Because I don't know if I can afford to get back home if I buy these.
I know. I mean, they go for about, anywhere between $220 and $250 each. Because, man, I mean, they're magnificent.
You see what you're getting.
I mean, they retail for 23,000 yen. Not cheap when they were new.
Right, but they're still around. You can retain that price a little bit. You can get around the same price point.
Yep.
So and, still affordable.
Still affordable and still worth owning.
Yeah. And so Uncle Jeff got a few of these.
I've been collecting them for him, and in the process, I've been addicted.
Yeah.
I just can't help myself, Especially the Dororo one is just, it's just amazing.
Yeah, so Scheme and I like to bullshit each other. And so he was like, I was like, Sean, should I get this? I don't know. I'm not sure. Sean. And then Scheme was like, Brian, you better get it. Why are you playing around? You gotta get it.
You just got to get it.
So then when I opened it, looked at it, I was like, okay, I apologize. Because this thing is incredible,
epic, right? Yeah. And I mean, like the Dororo one,
because the thing with Tezuka is that we always they associate him closely with that Disney aesthetic, right? So to actually see the raw, you're like, wait, he's doing a lot more He's putting a lot of work into these. You know what I mean?
Look at the
this is
statues.
this is very Frank Miller-esque even. You know, that's like so good. You could see the impact and the influence he's made just from seeing all these raw originals with the washes on them. Like, it's so dynamic, you know?
Dude, yeah.
So good. So then, Sean, can you explain the process with the pasting of the kanji? Is this like printed and then they paste it on? Is that fair to imply?
Yeah, so what they typically do is someone will kind of like sketch letter, you know, in pencil.
Yep.
And then they'll go through and then they'll print and then paste it on there.
Yeah.
You know, glue it on there. Mm-hmm. And then clean it up later.
Yep.
And that becomes the end product.
Yeah.
know?
And would that be like a dedicated job?
Yeah, I mean, it's same thing with lettering in American comics and
same.
stuff like that. You usually have like some staff, and of course, like Tezuka, Mizuki, like all of these guys, you know, like Chiba Tetsuya, they had huge production studios, so they have like 80, 100 people working under them. Some points in their careers, they're storyboarding.
Yeah, they're going to come through the manga pipeline, you know, of doing these or assisting on these probably.
Yeah. And you get so many famous mangaka that assisted.
Yeah.
Assisted for all of these guys because, I mean, they're legends. Everyone wanted to work for them.
Dude, come on. Like, yeah, I would give up my left hand to work for Tezuka. Yeah, that's beautiful. And so, and don't be fooled by the simplicity, because looking at these, it just completely revitalized my love for Tezuka because of the draftsmanship of the line work, the quality. You know, you could see that it's very nurtured. These pages aren't rushed at all.
Definitely put a lot of thought and time into each panel individually. And I mean, look at all those lines.
Right.
Look at all those lines.
Yeah.
That he gets in there.
Yeah, and like just to get that rain effect, like you would need a dedicated rain artist. You know, You're like, hey, assistant, you're gonna just do the rain,
well, and then you get a dedicated grass.
Totally.
Oh man, more grass.
Yep.
The whiteout around it to make her head make the image pop.
Yeah, the contour line, the contour of the whiteout, beautiful. Yeah, and a lot of it's still super loose. You know, it's like a lot of times you think it's like tight. It's like, no, this is really simple, really loose. You know, so
I mean, like, I'm obviously not an artist. I'm just a bookseller, but dude.
Yeah. Like, come on.
What's going on here?
Right.
What's going on here? How long did he work on that one panel? Like, Jesus.
Imagine if you messed up and Tezuka comes over like, nope, not good enough.
Not good enough.
Nope, start over. Yeah, so if you get a chance, if you guys come across these, definitely get them. And I saw another, what's the other Tezuka? What's the other Tezuka one, Sean?
Oh, God. It's not Dororo and maybe Phoenix?
Yeah, I can't recall.
It might be Phoenix.
So they have the other one at the shop. Do you think I should pull that trigger?
Tempting,
right?
Man. Tempting, dude. Because then you'd have both of them.
Right.
You know, like, yep. I'm not so much a completist unless it's like certain mangaka, I want everything.
Right.
You know, like the Kaze Shinobus, you know, the Go Nagais, the Otomo Katsuhiros. Yep. I want everything.
Right.
I have to have it. Mm-hmm. Mangataro or something like that. But when it comes to other guys...
And with Tezuka, it's there's too much.
There's just too much, man. And I mean, you're looking at like late 50s.
Right.
Until the early 2000s. I mean, it's hundreds.
Yeah, it's
hundreds.
serious.
You know, like, it's impossible to stay on top of it.
Yeah, he's the Godfather for a reason.
He's the Godfather for a reason, man.
Yeah, like he's not playing.
Oh, dude, it's so cool.
Yeah. And so with these, with this book, what I realized when I was looking through it, I was like, wow, this stuff. This work, like, because this is not all the volumes. This is like selected, right?
Yeah, selected works. It's like one chapter.
Yeah.
Basically one chapter from one story.
And so there's, you guys will see later in the back, there's this like organic monster form that's destroying this bridge. It's insane. I was like, okay, this took it to another level, man.
Dude, this fighting the wolf, slicing him in half down the middle. Dude, I mean, like...
You can't go wrong there.
Dude,
badass.
All that action, you know, like...
So badass.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. And, you know, like, in my personal collection, I don't have a ton of Tezuka. I just have, like, some selected works that I really liked. I like his sci-fi stuff. I like his samurai stuff.
Right.
The more Disney, like, stuff, not really as much.
I get that. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, there we go. This monster is sick.
Yeah, and, like, that whiteout cleanup is kind of weird. I was like, oh, I wonder what he was doing back back there, you know?
Yeah, what did he do before this?
Right, exactly.
You know, what was there before that? You know?
And that's like the fun part about these artist editions is that it raises those kind of questions, you know? This sequence right here is just so beautiful.
Just the dude melting.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
Just
that's
melting.
fucking hardcore.
Melting in like, it looks like he's like, help me, somebody help me. Mm-hmm. And he just melts.
Yeah.
It must be some sort of like volcanic lava
Yeah.
in the ocean or something like that.
Yeah, like this sequence, guys, is just amazing. I drooled over this for like hours. I was like, oh my gosh, this is hardcore, dude. It's so good.
Big fan. And there's just so much going on too. You know what I mean? Like there's so much action. There's so much like movement.
Yeah, don't let the cuteness fool you.
That's the thing. Is like Tezuka was pretty. He did a lot of cute stuff.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of cute stuff. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is hardcore.
Yeah. It's very subversive, you know?
Yeah, and like, I mean, that was one thing that attracted a lot of people to Tezuka post-war, 1950s. A lot of people were struggling. A lot of people were disillusioned by the Imperial Japanese government. And to have these like dark heroes emerge, people were very attracted to them.
Yeah. This is beautiful.
The color pages are just...
Yeah.
great.
Man, that's visceral. That's a great...
Oh, dude. 1967.
Yeah, come on, man.
All right, man. Artist edition done, dude. What else you got?
All right. Sean, we were out and we found this little guy. This wee little guy. And what I was curious about with this one, do you know the history of these books or anything,
So
Sean?
these are like little pocket editions. We were looking through some Mizuki Shigeru stuff. Little pocket editions. This one popped.
Yeah.
The blue popped, right? And like the cover is just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, these were just like... I imagine they probably sold these at convenience stores or like up by the cash register at the bookstore. You know what I mean? Like little cheap things that you could read on the train.
Yeah, pass the time.
Yeah, pass the time and get through the day.
Yeah, and so with this one, I was really impressed because I always come here and try to find books and everything, I always try to find things that are different that like that Americans can be influenced by and inspired by, because we only have like a couple formats when we think about comics. And so introducing something like this to the chat and the group is very transformative. And so I don't really see a lot of these older ones like this as we've been hunting. So definitely had to grab this when I saw it.
Yeah, and you know, it wasn't very expensive, maybe 1,700 yen,
Yeah.
1,500 yen, you know, like around $12,
Yeah.
something like that. Nothing too crazy, but you get something this was probably a reprint of an original Kashihon Rento manga that he did in like the early 60s, something like that. But then they wanted to, of course, re-release it, make a little bit more money, throw it in a pocket edition. People can read it on the train.
Yeah. So something like this is great to have. Definitely inspiring. And you know, the quality of the art's just, you can't go wrong.
Look at all the cross-hatching.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Man.
It's a beauty.
Yeah. Dude, look at that whale.
Yeah.
A big sperm whale jumping out there.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of course, like Mizuki Shigeru is famous for his yokai art. He's famous for his like folklore and stuff. But he did a lot of stuff. He did samurai stuff. He did war tales because he spent time. Of course, he lost his arm in World War II in the South Pacific. So he does like a lot of like wartime period piece stuff. He's most well known for his yokai stuff. But it's nice to see something like this samurai Edo Jidai Edo era story with like this soft touch.
Yeah.
Such a soft touch, you know.
Yeah, a lot of this, and I like the idea of this format because it transfers. In America, it's a great thing to have because you can just carry it, walk around with it. You know, you could kind of tap into that energy of the format, you know. So I like the idea of this.
And
That's
you're
crazy,
in
too.
yeah, this
That's
is
great.
so good, dude. And you're not conditioned whore like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
neither
don't
am
give a
So
shit.
you're
Yeah.
gonna throw this in your back pocket.
Yeah, dude, totally.
You're gonna cruise out to the park, hang out with the dog. You
Yep.
know, like read a little bit of manga.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
That's great.
Oh, that's amazing page.
Yeah.
You see this giant trying to stomp on the samurai, and you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Big Mizuki fan.
Yeah, so we found this one. That was a pretty good first day purchase.
That was like the beginning of our Manga Quest,
Yeah,
man.
it set the tone.
You know, like when you're out in the streets, like hunting the manga, it's kind of hard because everything's sealed.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's inside of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that I offer when people come by the bookshop is they can spend 2 hours just digging through stuff
Yeah.
and like opening stuff and nothing's sealed. But you go to Mandarake, you go to Jimbocho, everything's sealed, right?
Yeah.
So
And
sometimes
you're really doing a dice roll.
Yeah, it really is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know if fire or is it
Right.
going to be...
Because trust me, when I'm on my own, guys, I end up buying a lot of duds. I'm like, yo, Sean, when can we go out, bro? I need your assistance.
Well, we're going to be out later on today, and we're going to do some hardcore hunting.
Hell yeah.
Brandon's going to be filming us, so we're going to be posting some more fun stuff, my friends. Dude, even the back.
Yeah, right. It's
amazing.
like, yeah, it's a beauty.
It's beauty. All right, I got one for you.
All right, let's see it, bro.
All right, this one is a little bit different. It's not Japanese, but this is Alien.
Nice.
So Alien, translated into Japanese, Matsumoto Reiji, Galaxy 999 fame. He did the formatting and the direction for it. So he did the text. He did the layout. Of course, we have the colors by Corbin. Like, who else we got in here?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Walter Simonson
Yeah,
who ended up
Walter
doing the art.
Simonson. And then we have Dan.
Dan O'Bannon.
Yeah, Dan O'Bannon.
With the writing.
Yeah. And then, of course, Archie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Now, with this one, Sean, I see they kept the format left to right, which is pretty common, right? When they bring over American books, they usually keep the same format.
Usually.
Is that fair?
Yeah, usually. So when they, even like the Akira color edition that was printed in America, but then
Right.
re-released in Japan, left to right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they didn't flip it.
Were those popular?
They were not popular. They were not popular.
They were like, get this garbage out of here.
Yeah, because they already had the original
Right.
kind of jump style
Yeah.
editions out there that sold, I don't know, 50 some pressings,
Right.
you know, like insane amount of pressings. I have the set. I also have the ammo box display that they go in that was
Yeah.
only available for shops to
That's
display
awesome.
them. Dude, volumes 5 and 6, impossible to find. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at least a bill a piece.
Wow.
For
Holy
volumes
cow.
5 and 6, 1 through 4 accessible.
Yeah. And so with this is actually pretty true because I know this book really well. And so to see this in this format and this style, it's actually a nice piece, like a art piece, to own. If you're into the Japanese translations, this is definitely one to get, especially. I don't know if you can learn much from this if you're learning Japanese, but aesthetically it's beautiful.
Oh, dude, the way it's paneled, the way it's laid out, I mean, it really is like edge to edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so, yeah, this is a beauty. So, our American friends will definitely know this book, but to see this is definitely a treat, Sean.
Really hard to find. I mean, I find maybe 2 of these a year.
Wow.
And I'm always looking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like...
And Alien's popular here.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we got Romulus out now. I mean, look at that.
yeah, come on. That's beautiful.
Big 2-page spread. Amazing.
Can't go wrong.
Just as a franchise, like Alien is epic.
Yeah.
And arguably the first female-centric heroine to kick ass.
Totally, dude.
You know what I mean? Sigourney Weaver's
So when's the first time you seen this movie, Sean? What was your memory?
Dude, like, so I was born in 75
Right.
to age myself.
Yeah, it's all good. You're young.
And, I think it came out in, 78?
Yeah, 78, 79.
78, 79, around there. So the first time I saw Alien, I must have been around the time that we got a VCR, around 84, 85.
Yeah, so it messed up your whole...
Oh, dude, it messed me up bad, dude. Messed me up bad. I still remember the first VHSs that we rented.
Yeah.
Kroll
Nice.
and Taxi Driver with Mr. T. Dude. Those are the first 2. We bought a VHS, and I was like, I need Mr. T, and I need a fucking Kroll frisbee thing, whatever it was that he had.
Beautiful.
And then, and then
Because it's funny because I think I seen Aliens before I seen Alien. And so, the sequel. And so it's one of those things where I was completely like, shocked and horrified. But then I went back and saw the first one. I was like, as a kid, I was like, oh, it's kind of boring, because there's like so many aliens and action in the second one. But now as an adult, I appreciate this one much more.
Well, the thing that I like, so like in Alien, impossible to kill.
Right.
Impossible to kill.
Yep.
Aliens, they're just like killing aliens like left and right. Xenomorphs are going down like fucking flies.
Yeah, they don't have the same impact that they did in the first one. It was singular.
The first one, Mother, was just gnar, dude.
Yeah.
I always didn't like that aspect of Aliens, but
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to complain about either one, right?
Dude, action's action.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, this is a great adaptation, also, because it's pretty accurate. It's pretty much 1-to-1. So you can't go wrong with this book.
No, it's amazing. All right, what you got, brother?
All right,
Takayama Tatti. I am a big fan of Takayama Tatti. Actually, since I'm sitting here right now.
Yeah, I would say Sean just flex on him real quick. What you got?
Yeah. He also was a DJ and did music. Unfortunately, about a year and a half ago, he passed away of a sudden brain embolism.
Yeah.
And man, amazing sci-fi horror mangaka. He did a lot for like the indie community. He was really good friends with Nakayama-san over at Takoshe in Nakano Broadway. Just really brought back that like 80s vibe to sci-fi horror manga. This is called Fear of the Mouth-Eyed Woman.
When was he active? Like, when was his career?
Really, 10 years ago.
Okay,
About
cool.
10 years ago is like when he was really active. And he combines like ultra cute with ultra violence.
Yeah, this book is wild, guys.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's funny because it's super loose. Like, it's not very traditional in the sense of like what you would think of when they do the rendering and everything with the monsters. It has this weird subversive, almost underground feel to it with the drawings.
And there's like gags.
Yeah.
There's like silly, like this is all silliness. Like she's always like slapping her friend and like kind of beating up her friend, but they're best friends. But then they get into some mischief.
It gets wild.
Yeah, it gets wild, man. It gets wild.
And so, with his publication history, is he well published? Like,
nope.
Pretty popular?
Nope. This is his only major tankobon ever released. He did a couple doujinshi, like independently produced.
Yep.
Manga, and then he did some online stuff. So he was doing a lot of digital art later in his, like after this came out.
Yeah.
I've collected a lot of his digital art, like digital manga.
Right.
But you know me, I like the physicals.
Yeah, we're the same way, man.
So it's kind of a shame that he didn't get the print publications that he deserved.
Yeah, because this, I guarantee everyone you're going to connect to this art. He is so good. And I was like so grateful. When I pulled this off the shelf and you broke it down, I was like, oh, hell yeah, we got to get this book.
Like, look at this. Koko wa doko? Where am I? Where am I? Are wa koko wa ittai doko kashira? Like, it's like, where the hell am I? And she's just in some psychedelic fish, like, weird checkered land, you know what I mean? Like, why the fish? Oh wait, I'm dreaming. Like it's just so psychedelic. It's like, and there's murder, there's monsters, there's a little bit of everything in here.
Yeah.
And there's the mouth-eyed girl.
That's so good.
She just pushes her friend into it. She's like I'm out of here. She runs away. So funny. Oh man.
Yeah, and that's why it's really unfortunate that there's not much of his work, because I was like, I connected to this immediately. I was literally laughing in like oh shit moments, So this is like definitely a gem. If you guys come across this art, if you come across this book, Sean's gonna keep eye out for everybody if you want one of these.
Oh, dude! In the print quality, the single color. I mean, we're big fans of this like single color print.
Yes, totally, man. And so this is definitely one to have.
And it's kind of it gets sad. It's kind of tragic because spoiler, her friend dies. And you're like, oh,
yeah, because
I like her so much,
because you went through so much.
Yeah, they went through so much together. I mean, like the
that's
crucifixion.
Awesome. Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Sci-fi
so good.
crucifixion, man. Great stuff, man.
Yeah. So this is definitely a highlight one of the books I was so happy
Yeah,
to find.
when we were at Nakano Broadway
Yeah.
together, I was like, dude, you gotta have to.
Yeah,
you
you
just
like,
have to
grab
have
it.
this. You got to.
Look at that.
I mean, look at that. It's like the 100-eyed monster that Mizuki Shigeru, like the Japanese folklore, just a giant one.
Yeah.
As big as a city, you know?
Yeah, turned all the way up.
Yeah, turned all the way up.
Yeah, that's so good. And it's interesting that he'll and there's those it's weird. You get the summer moments and then I don't know what that goofy thing was in space, but
Yeah. What's going on here? It's like, let's get cute for a minute. We'll get more like abstract and then
Yeah, this book goes places, dude.
oh, dude, it's psychedelic, man.
Yeah.
It is psychedelic, man.
Then her friend comes back and she slaps her friend.
just at the end. Man, it's fun stuff.
Yeah, so just think about that. We just went through this book and this took us through like 10 different moments,
Oh,
Sean.
dude, just like
So good.
So much.
So-
All right.
Go ahead, Sean.
Dude. So, Otomo the Complete. Of course, they're putting out 20-some, like, Otomo Complete works. This is the Akira 1 one.
Bro, I can't even keep up with them. They're releasing them so fast.
Dude, I personally, like, I hate the vinyl, the plastic covers.
Yeah.
You can't stack them like this, dude. They just bend on the bottom and they melt. They just start melting on themselves.
How well are those going to archive in the
Oh,
future,
dude,
Sean? They're
I
just going
know.
to fuse together.
I know. So, like, I have all of mine, like, wrapped up, like stacked flat.
That's
you
good.
know?
That's a good tip.
That's the only way that you can keep these. But this dude, what's his name? Yuasa? Oh, here, let me find his name. Junya the Sphere. He put out these doujinshi. These are self-published little booklets that detail everything about each complete works.
That's incredible. So they're like companion pieces.
They're companion pieces and they're basically fan club pieces, you
Yeah.
know? It's like something that like this guy loves Otomo so much that he's like, I'm gonna just like make my own stuff. And they go through and Junya here, he goes through and he just details
It's impressive.
where like the reference material. So this one's Domu. So he's detailing like the danshi
Wow.
or the apartment, like the complexes. What do you call it? Like a project.
Yeah.
A project that you would find in New York City.
Yeah.
He's like detailing where all the art reference material was from.
Wow. That's
Hat.
incredible.
Yeah.
So these are really important archive pieces then for
These-
like if you're a fan.
If you're a fan, if you're like, this was SF Magazine. I have one of these. It was the mock-up for Domu.
Yeah.
These are basically going to be, these are kind of like fan club pieces.
Yeah.
You know?
These are important. So Sean, when did you know about these or when did you
I
discover
did not.
these?
So like I was over at my friend's bookstore earlier this week. And he's like, "Oh, I got something to show you," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
he
you're like,
knows me. He knows me.
Yeah. Sean's like, I seen it all. What you got for me, bro?
Yeah. And he busted these out, and he's like, "Yeah, these are doujinshi. These are like fan pieces, and they break down each of the complete editions by Otomo. Give you detail about like the background, like where his inspiration came from. Like this one, that's that rare record.
Yeah.
The soundtrack to the movie that was never made.
Yeah.
Which I actually have here.
I say,
yeah, man.
it's one of my favorite pieces that
Yeah,
you have.
one of the English editions here. I mean, there's not a lot of visuals in here, but for a Japanese reader like me, these things are like
It's gold.
gold.
I mean,
Gold.
I think even something, wouldn't it be fascinating, Sean, if someone adapted these into English so you have a doujinshi that's been translated into a doujinshi of a doujinshi?
I gotta hire my wife to do that.
Yeah, I would say
Translate
maybe
them.
it's a job for you, buddy.
Dude, I wish I had time to translate more. I actually enjoy translating, but it's my wife. My wife is the translator in the family. Yeah, Linda crushes it. One of
yeah.
these days, I'm gonna have her go through my doujinshi collection, and I'm gonna do some bootlegs, man.
You have to,
like,
man. You have to. You gotta do it for the culture.
Do it for the culture, man. And plus, we need a record of this stuff out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like a lot of people back home in America, they don't even know that Otomo has anything outside of Akira, which is really unfortunate just because of the distribution, obviously. You know, like peripherally Domu, but at the end of the day, it's like Akira. So to know that you have something this esoteric, I mean, why not? This is like a celebration of the medium.
Exactly. And I mean, like, Pafu, like the magazine that like featured him, which I also have, Action Weekly Manga Action, where he was published in. All these reference materials that just people just don't know about. We need this in English.
Yeah,
we need this in English for the Akira fans, just for the documentation of the culture. You know what I mean?
So, do you have all the volumes then, Sean? Is that what
I actually don't know. So I got 6 of these. We got 1, 5, but see, the way they're rolling out the Otomo Complete editions is they're doing them randomly. It'll be like 1, 15, 24,
yeah, it's confusing
16.
even for me.
So it's like super confusing. Otomo's a perfection freak.
Yep.
The last Akira one, this one, was delayed by 6 months.
Wow.
Because he wanted to get all the colors right. He wanted to get all the, like, everything perfect. I was waiting on that for like 6 months.
Right.
So originally, I think they were supposed to roll out over a 2-year period. It's going to be like 5 years.
Yeah. It's going to be a second lifetime.
It's going to be a second lifetime. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I always say this, I will have spent probably $2,300 on the whole set.
Yep.
But, you know me.
Yeah, you got to have it, man.
Otomo is Otomo, man.
Yeah,
He's
you
a
got to
god,
have it.
dude.
You got to have it.
All right, what did you got,
right.
brother?
All right, so we'll show the slipcase. We took it out the slipcase, but we'll show that and the book.
Dude, this is so cool, man. Like, I've never seen this book before.
It was interesting because
Gampanote.
when I was at because I'm staying by the Madarake by Nakano Broadway. So it's a 20-minute walk for me. And so I just go there passively maybe every few days, and this stood out to me. And I have no clue what this is, Sean.
Dude, I have no clue what it is either, but let's take a look through it.
Yeah,
it actually reminds, oh God, what is his name? Morikazu, God. Hell's Angel. He did Hell's Angel. Looks a lot like the same art as Hell's Angel, but it's definitely different.
Yeah, and so what this is, it's almost like an activity book. And so it has pages that are folded. It tells you the activity, so it'll tell you to like cut and paste and restructure it. Some pages are games. This concept as a book is really, really liberating for artists if you're into anything that is like based upon a concept. So this is a book that is like for people who are fans of, like, let's say the European style, like the heavy duart stuff, any of that. It's really good. So I don't even know if the artist is Japanese. I'm assuming he's Japanese.
Yeah, I think he's Japanese, and you get all these like character designs.
It's just a lot of fun.
Dude, it's just a lot of fun. You're right.
And so, Sean, would this be something you would pick up?
This would be something I would definitely pick up and probably throw in my personal collection.
Yeah. I was able to get one over Sean, everybody.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the dude with the giant scissors, man.
Yeah.
That's rad. And
Yeah.
robots. You get a little bit of everything. Demons, robots. And then, yeah, you have these like fold out.
Yeah, so this one's a cutter, Sean. You see right there? So isn't that weird?
Yeah, you have to cut it to see the inside, man. Man, I want to look in there.
Right.
I want to look in there.
It's like we need a second copy of this.
Yeah,
we need
so we could dissect it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So yeah, with this work, it looks like it's watercolor, maybe. And this was printed, I think, in the 90s when I did a little bit of research on it. I think it was published in the mid-90s. And so something like this, though, you'll probably, once again, when you're in Japan, if you see it, you got to buy it. Something like this, you'll probably never see again.
Like Scheme says, pull the trigger, baby. Pull the trigger.
Yeah. Scheme was on, I had a little scheme on my shoulder.
Telling you just buy it. Just buy it.
He's like, quit looking at it, just buy it. and once again, Sean, everything's sealed. So you really don't know what the hell you're getting into.
Yeah.
But this was around like 4,000 yen, and it was well worth the purchase.
Dude, this is a fun book, man. I mean, there's all these like activities. It's like cut here, cut there,
and the art's just like immaculate. It's. I don't even know. I want to draw every panel. That's how I feel about this book.
Dude,
the quality of the art's insane. I bet it took them years to develop this thing.
Dude, and if you look at this, I'd say this is probably 220 pages, somewhere around there, and you're looking at all the ink that he threw down on this page.
Yeah.
That's a couple years.
Yeah, totally.
A couple years of work. You know what I mean?
And so would something like this be put out by a publisher, Sean, or?
You know, this was definitely produced by a publisher, 24 years old, but he produced most of it in 98.
Yeah. Okay.
It was originally released in 1998.
And so when I looked up his artwork online, it actually doesn't look like this. It's like more realistic rendered robots and stuff like that. But like it's pretty underground looking. It's very gritty, you know. So it still has that edge to it. But this work is pretty unique to itself.
One plus like just the format.
Yeah.
The format is amazing, dude. Anything where you get like activity, like the arrows and the eyes, man.
So Sean, can you break down real quick for the chat, for the video, something like what are the games something simple or is it complex?
This is Boken no Tsukurikata. So it's like how to do the adventure. So it breaks down how to cut out each page, make it into an adventure piece, and it's almost like board game.
Okay, cool.
Almost like a board game once you start cutting out the pieces and putting it together. But please don't cut out the pieces.
Yeah, if you get one of these, try to preserve it.
Yeah. Try to keep it intact, my friends.
Yeah.
But you can stare at this and imagine that you're playing.
If you find a beat up copy, you can, take it to cut that one up.
Oh, dude, I bet you the kids would just love this.
Yeah.
Dude. Just like getting in there, cutting out the pages, and
You have to buy 2 copies.
you got to buy 2 copies, man.
So this was definitely something I was proud of myself for finding.
Oh, dude, it's amazing. And you know what? I'm gonna find one for myself.
Dude,
too,
I know
brother.
you will, bro. I know you will.
Rad. Okay, let's move on. I got just a couple more. I mean, I know we're taking a long time here. You know, I had 5 books. I think we're gonna stick it to 4. But this one, Takeshi Obata, of course, Death Note. Everyone loves Death Note.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the original arc is the best. This is an exhibition catalog.
Oh, really? Nice.
Released just for his exhibition that was held. I want to say about 10 years ago.
Okay. Did you make it to
8
it,
years
Sean?
ago?
Or were
I
you
did
hip to it at the
not.
time?
I did not at the time. Unfortunately, I was a Japanese salaryman wearing a suit going to a fucking office.
Dude, you gotta take care of them babies.
I had to take care of them babies, so I couldn't make it to all the exhibitions. But man, this has some amazing like reference material, character design, Genga. The one thing I don't like about it is like it's shrunk down so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I always want to see everything in like its full like big format as much as I can. But amazing pieces and probably the best Obata collection that you can find out there.
Oh, did he do a manga about Go?
Yeah. So this is the Go manga.
Did they make an anime off that? Because I do remember a Go anime where they did. I just don't remember the name of it.
They might have. I feel like it's loosely based off of the youngest Go champion in Japan.
Nice.
That's I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's like one of the.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's the man. Like he's like the grandmaster.
Wow.
Like, the man. And I think
Yep.
it's loosely based off of him. Young guy.
Yep.
Go champion.
Hell yeah. So then, obviously, this has his whole career.
This has his whole career in here, and then you get into the Death Note stuff, of course. And I mean, like, I'm not into. I mean, everyone knows me. Like, I'm into like retro manga, 70s manga, 80s manga, stuff like that. Like, I'm not so much into the more newer mainstream stuff post 2000.
Right.
But Death Note is such a big part of Japanese culture.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I'm the same, man. I'm like heavy 70s guy. And so when I saw Death Note, I was actually impressed. I was like, okay, this is awesome. So even it got me,
Yeah. I mean,
There's no denying.
Even my wife was like an avid reader, getting it every month the Tankobon came out.
Yeah.
And she's not a big manga lady, but
yeah.
she would go every month and like every about 2 months they would come out with like a Tankobon.
Yep.
And she stayed on top of the series the whole time,
Nice. Yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah, and rare. Like,
oh, really?
I do not see these around ever, dude.
Wow.
Do not see these around ever. And thank you, Sean. Word up. This is your book, babe. Yeah.
So then, did you get this recently?
I got this recently, and it already sold, man. It just sold instantly. So, like, when I post stuff to Instagram, like, a lot of times I'll post, like, the really rare books that, I mean, if I can't find it again, there's no reason to put it on the website.
Right.
So if it's something really rare like this, like an exhibition catalog from 10 years ago, or if it's something like an artist edition that's really hard to find, then I just post it to Instagram and it usually sells instantly.
Yeah. Yeah, especially something with Death Note, like that's a instant sell.
Oh,
wow,
dude,
that's beautiful.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
And it's funny because I only know the anime. I've never actually read the manga, even though it's like pervasive back home. So to see this catalog, you can see the quality of the work. You know, it's impeccable.
And it's one of those things, like, again, it's so ubiquitous in Japan, Death
Right.
Note, that you, like, again, you go to a ramen shop, they have Death Note, you know,
Right.
like, you go to, like, a izakaya restaurant, and they have Death Note, and you go to the bathhouse, they have Death Note.
Right,
you know?
totally.
So, like, it's not something that I really collect personally, but it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense. So then, where was this? Do you know, Sean, where the exhibition was held at?
I do not, but it was a Tokyo exhibition.
Right.
And I remember hearing about it,
It was
around
probably
the time.
huge.
But
I bet it was insane.
I mean, I think it might have been in Shibuya, but I mean, like, look at this.
Yeah, that's
Never
amazing.
complete. So just like a bunch of unfinished works. But
Yeah,
very cool.
this. Thanks for showing this, Sean. This is a beauty, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yeah.
a must.
All right, what do you got?
All right, so we went to what was it, Comitia? I went to Comitia this past weekend.
Man. I
And so-
missed it.
Yeah, it's okay, man. You know, you live here.
The big thing with Comitia is that it's mostly doujinshi, like self-published works, and a lot of those people are unknown.
Yeah.
So it's kind of really not something that I can sell.
Right. Exactly.
And at the end of the day, I want those artists to sell their stuff and make their money.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's not really like aftermarket stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
It's not like retro. It's not. But there's some amazing artists there.
Yeah, that's the thing is like you get around 4,000 artists, and you get them in this big. I mean, it's obviously some sort of convention center, but it looks like a aircraft hangar,
It does.
and you just have infinite tables of sellers. And so every table has something cool in it most of the time.
And there's everything from like yokai to Japanese folklore to period pieces to
Food
babies
reviewers.
Food reviewers, babies in diapers. So it's a little bit of everything.
Little bit of everything.
Sexy Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like they have everything. Man.
Exactly. So something like this, usually I try to find things that are like more illustration heavy because I can get behind that. And this just popped out immediately. This artist uses ballpoint pen. And I mean, I don't even need to say anything.
Like Otomo's son, Shohei.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Ballpoint only.
Yeah.
Only does ballpoint.
And so something like this, it gives me a lot of that West Coast, like Puss Head kind of feel.
Like you were saying, oh, dude, I've been looking so hard for the Japanese release of the Puss Head book from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So hard to find.
Dude,
so hard to find.
I
man.
would love to have that.
Oh, man. I mean, growing up as a skateboarder.
Right. Oh, my
The
gosh.
skate rock stuff,
Yeah.
like the Puss Head is just epic.
Yeah, that's where it's at. And so to see something like this catalog, this manual, whatever you want to call it, and this thing was like 1,000 yen. And so just to be able to see something like this and to be able to celebrate, this kind of gives you an idea of the stuff you can find there. So, I'm not complaining.
Dude, and a lot of these indie artists, I mean, they're like, I was a year ago, they're working day jobs.
Yeah.
They're working somewhere, they're working at a restaurant, or they're working at an office, or and they're just like hammering out their art on the side, And they go to Comitia or they go to these like cons and they try to like slang their stuff.
Yeah.
And again, like I think we were talking about it earlier, dude, 60,000 manga a year released in Japan.
It's like, come on.
And that's not
man.
even including illustration books, doujinshi,
Right.
like all the other stuff. So there's such the market's so huge.
Yeah.
That
And
like
you get stuff like this and it's affordable.
Yeah.
And it's insane because like back home, somebody like this would be celebrated and extremely famous, because how small the art world is back in America. But to see this here, and isn't that a great shot?
so cool, man.
Would that be a cool tattoo?
Oh, dude, I'm actually I looked at that and I'm like, dude, I might have to
Yeah,
get
you
that
might get a
splat.
neck tat.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm never going back to the salaryman life,
Right,
brother. Maybe
right.
I need a rat skull neck tat.
Go around looking badass.
Man. That's Maboroshi Honezukan. So Hiramatsu. I always find it funny when in these doujinshi, like their Gmail
Yeah.
address is like always some crazy like address.
So something like this was great, and it's a great
dude.
experience.
Yeah, that's great. And it's like, and plus the artists are selling it to you.
Yeah, it's directly. Yeah.
You're buying it directly from the artist, so
Yeah.
you're putting cash in the hand of an artist.
Yeah. How amazing is that?
Right? That's like the best feeling in the world.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't want to, I mean, as you know, I put a lot of money into mom and pop shops.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
I like supporting mom and pop shops, but there's nothing like putting money into the hand of an artist.
Yeah. So how often does that happen for you, Sean, where you get to like get connected directly with the artist and
A lot. So I go to a lot of exhibitions. I go to a lot of pop-ups. I go to a lot of like different events, and I make it a point of every time I meet an artist that I really love, then I give them my information, exchange, the Japanese style, get a business card, exchange emails, and I'll immediately go home, email them, and be like, "Do you have Genga original art, or do you have books?
Yep.
You have anything that you want to? I'll kick you money."
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like artists need to make a living.
Oh,
Right?
I would love to have like 10 Seans hitting me up in America.
I mean, like if you want a favor from an artist in Japan, kick them money.
Yeah.
Give them money. Buy something.
Yeah.
Buy 20 books off of them. Even if you're going to sit on them for 3 months.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like, buy 20 books off them. Tell them, like, that you really appreciate their work.
Yeah.
And then they will pull stuff out of their collection and sell it to you.
Yeah.
And that's how I get my original art. Man.
Yeah, man, because your collection, your original art collection's amazing.
I mean, this is the way. And, like, at the end of the day, you can just, like, go up to someone and be like, "Hey, sell me that.
Right.
Sell me that."
Right.
Like, give it to, like, it's selfish.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Do something, it
Yeah.
will come back. You know
That's
what I mean?
beautiful.
This
Hey,
is the
speaking
way.
of beauty, by the way, what do we have here?
Dude, I wasn't going to show this, but Showgirl by Shotaro Ishinomori. Well, Ishimori changed his name to Ishinomori later on in his career. He did Girls 2, and then he did Showgirl, which is the kind of a combination of Girls and Girls 2 into one book. These are super rare, and it's just a collection of all of his female protagonists from over his career.
These
Just
are incredible.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. He's got such a soft touch.
Every page is a celebration. It's just like the quality is great.
And the cool thing about this book that I really like is you can see the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. You
The
get
style.
The style, like this. The
fashion.
The Elvis tassels going on, like
Totally.
the...
This is great.
And man, he could draw the female figure. I mean, the 80s
Yep.
skateboard boom.
Yeah, come on. Like, that's incredible. And so, like, this book, Sean, like, when was this published? Is this pretty recent?
I believe it was around, I want to say 2012.
Okay.
Something like that.
And you don't come across this often?
2014.
And do you come across it often?
No, out of print, hard
Yeah.
to find. I do have this one in stock right now on JapanBookHunter.com if you're
Nice.
interested, my friends. The Ishinomori Shotaro Girls Collection books, there was only 3 of them. Not a lot out there. All of them are highly...
Sought after.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is so impressive. It's one of those things where it makes you want to pick up the pen,
And look, Akatsuka Fujio, like
Yep.
references, Bakabon, like in the print on the girl's dress.
Yep.
And you got Playboy Bunny.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And the way he did textiles, amazing.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, you could just use this as like a style guide almost, because it has so many decades of fashion.
Dude, yeah. I mean, if you were a fashion designer.
Yeah, you could just, like, be inspired all day from something like this.
For sure, man. For sure.
And it's probably like a very... I don't even know if it would be like an underrated quality, because when you put it together is when you recognize it, So this book is definitely a must-have.
Dude, and like I gotta be honest, like Ishinomori Showgirl, like his manga,
Yep.
I'm a fan of, but I really liked his sci-fi stuff in the 70s because it was really outlandish and it was wild, and
Yep.
yeah, there's just so much going on in it. But that's like my favorite stuff of his. But you look through like his these art books that he did, especially the girls' collections, and it's like, dude could draw.
Yeah.
Man, the
Yeah.
dude could draw.
Yeah. And you can just see he's liberated. Just so much freedom with these pieces. Yeah, this is gonna sell immediately.
Very Bond-esque.
Yeah.
You know? It looks like every girl looks like a Bond
Totally.
damsel. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, really, really fun book. And yeah, as you go backwards, you see more into his early career. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're going from back to front.
Yeah, this is great.
Wildcat. This is the cover for Wildcat. My wife was like, "Why is her head so small?" I'm like, "Well, because her boobs are big."
Isn't that normal?
Amazing comic as well, Wildcat.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday at the store.
Yeah,
So
it's a great one. If you can find the magazine edition,
That's it.
that's the one, because the print quality, the paper feel, the 2-color print, and then the opening 20 pages in color, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And like, I don't know why lasers are shooting out of her boobies, but
I don't mind.
I don't mind, dude. I don't mind, dude. Oh, and you get these like rough sketches.
Yeah, those are just pure raw, beautiful.
Yeah, raw Genga. And that, my fine friends, is Manga Quest 2024.
Hell yeah.
Bryan Moss.
Sir.
Dude, you
It's
are the
been
man,
amazing,
dude.
bro.
We're going to
You
do some
are.
more stuff. We're going to do some videos that are going to be up on his channel, going to be up on my channel. And today we're going to go on a little Manga Quest and do some hunting in the streets, my friends.
Yeah. You can see us and join us over on Power to the Panel, where we humanize and uplift our brother Eddie P, as you know. And Sean, as you know, I brought you some gifts.
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes,
So we brought
sir.
a lot of the publications we've been publishing and making. And so, yeah, come over to Power to the Panel, join us there, and learn how to make some comics.
And I will be posting a video soon of the haul that I got from our good friend Brian right here.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, JapanBookHunter.com is where I sell my weird, rare, and wild books. And Japan Book Hunter on Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. Follow Mossy,
Yep, Strange Things Moss. I'm online. I'm on Instagram.
Yeah. And dude, again, peace, brother.
Take it easy, everybody.
Love you guys. And
guys.
until next time, matane.